Has it ever happened to you that this issue, this thing in front of you, which is blocking you from doing what you want and is literally the enemy to your growth, makes you completely frozen? Like you can't think, you can't move, you can't take the actions that you need to. Now, the chances are that this has happened to every single one of us, including me and you. And although every barrier is unique to each one of us, but the reactions they evoke are usually common: anger, fear, frustration, confusion, depression, and sometimes even desperation. So, what happens is that either we do nothing or we make it even worse by overthinking and making ourselves the victim. And trust me, this is a very humanly and normal way to react, but it's definitely not a healthy and thriving one. But no one teaches us that our whole lives, right? Because this is how it's supposed to be. This is how society wants us to feel and question our own goddamn potential, our own goddamn worthiness, our own capabilities. Am I even deserving of love? Am I even capable enough to achieve my dreams? But what you need to understand is that the only reason these people want to pull you down and make you feel bad about yourself is because they definitely know that you can do better, much better than them, and that triggers their low self esteem. And humans do have the tendency to control and exercise power over everyone and everything. And when you stand up to show them that they have no control over you, it makes them feel miserable. And then they try to make you feel miserable. Humans are complex. But coming back to the point, you have the potential and the capabilities and the resources, but the only thing which you clearly lack is the mindset and the art of turning your problems into solutions. Let me explain. That thing which is stopping you is actually a catalyst. You know, something which fastens the reaction. That obstacle is the path to your success. It is through the problem that you will become the person that you want to be. It's like the further you are being pulled back by the universe or God, the farther will it release you. But you need to have trust in yourself. You need to be patient. You need to look at it with a different perspective. And we all know that everyone can thrive when the conditions are suitable and the environment is supportive. But no one teaches us how to really thrive in chaos. And let's be honest, most of the people out there don't have a very supportive environment. But don't worry, since that is exactly what I'm going to do in this video. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Arushi, and diving right into it, the first segment of the video is don't be just optimistic but opportunistic. Oh my god, this is so important, being opportunistic. Most of the people's spirits are destroyed by crisis. Some go through it, but only a few grow through it. And these are the ones who end up reaching their highest potential. And I know we all have these questions. Why is it happening to me? Why do I need to face all of this trauma while others are living a normal life? But they are not. No one's life is simple, and literally everyone has to face the heat because we need to grow. But a lot of people just refuse to. They keep going through the pain for nothing. But I want you to get a fucking trophy for your pain. I want you to ask yourself, how can I use this experience to empower me? Because that is the only purpose of pain in our life, to teach us, to help us build, to help us grow. So, I am not just talking about being optimistic, but opportunistic, because it is very important to feel your emotions when things are going down the hill. You should not repress them or gaslight yourself into thinking that it doesn't hurt. But finding your light in the darkness, that is the game changer. For example, I have strictly stopped talking negative to myself. And whenever something happens, I just try to perceive things in an, opportunistic way. For example, if I got sick or I got injured and I can't do much and I am a fitness freak, so I just try to, see it in a positive and opportunistic way. I'll think, okay, I have some time to, reflect on my mental health. I can improve my mental strength. Or if I got rejected, it's cool because now I have more time and another chance to be better and improve my skills. Or, for example, if someone doesn't care about me, cool, good. I actually have less people holding me back. So, very simple, right? But not easy. So, practice, 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 and be very conscious about your thoughts and words, because that is the first step towards building anything, be it a happy life or an unhappy one. You came on this planet to follow your authentic truth, your passions, your purpose, could be anything that sets your soul on fire, and that process is not over until you die. We do go through soul wrecking experiences, but if you look at the bigger picture, They are not soul wrecking experiences, they are actually soul building experiences. Everything that is happening to you is for you, not against you. But people don't get that. People want events to happen to them, the successful ones, the glamorous ones, the perfect ones, and mostly the overnight ones. But they don't want to go through the process. They don't want to get up early in the morning or make that one extra phone call or cut off the toxic people or break their patterns and habits or improve their health and work on their goals. They just want it to happen to them. My love, without the process, there are no events. If you want to manifest something, you have to prove it to the universe and yourself that you really deserve it. Because once a strong belief has been built in your subconscious mind that I deserve whatever my heart desires, nothing, not even you, can stop yourself from making it your reality. But these strong and healthy beliefs are built through repetitive aligned action, through experiences, through choices. For example, you are put in a relationship which is not fulfilling to you. Now, you have a choice to either walk away and know that this is not the end of the world and that I deserve so much more than this experience has given me, or you stay in that relationship, you repeat the pattern and keep being sad. Because you need to understand that if you want the best, you have to let go of the good. And by best, I mean what's best for you to become your highest version. It will vary from person to person. But the thing is, you need to accept and understand that it is not the end of the world when you get rejected, when you lose a job, or when the person who was supposed to be the love of your life leaves. Keep having faith and trust in yourself. Keep believing. Keep putting in the aligned action, and success and happiness will find you. It will chase you, but you have to make the choice. Third part is to never ever run away from your emotions. Remember, emotions are an important and natural part of who we are. They help us understand ourselves and the world around us. For example, sadness shows us when something deeply matters to us, and happiness shows us when something brings us joy. So, running away from them and avoiding them will only lead to problems later. When we face our emotions and we regulate them, we actually learn from them. We become better at making decisions, and it also improves our relationships, most importantly, because then we can easily communicate our feelings and be more authentic while trying to connect with others. And I know it's difficult to face our emotions, but remember that here we are trying to build a healed, a healthy, a strong mind, and most importantly, a regulated nervous system, because that is very, very important. And if you want to thrive, especially in chaos, you need to learn to regulate and process your emotions. And trust me when I say that it is a skill to be mastered, which not only will help you in the personal arena of life, but also in professional settings. And I understand that you might have grown up with the conditioning that strong kids don't cry, don't be so sensitive, feelings don't pay bills. Well, my love, I'm going to hold your hand before I say this. If you don't know how to regulate your emotions, the only level you can grow up to is being a well paid slave. Because in order to master anything, you have to master the self. And that is the reason why society conditions people with such stupid narratives. They will teach you to be scared. They will take away every bit of trust a child is naturally born with. They will tell you to be scared of life and that your life will become so difficult when you grow up. Because a person who can regulate his or her emotions is a menace to the society, since they can't be controlled and they are totally independent. Think about it. What does avoiding your emotions does to you? It affects your well-being. It increases stress, which then leads to chronic diseases. You can't communicate. Relationships become tough. It leads to misunderstanding and distance. It affects your physical health. It leads to issues like headaches, stomach problems, and even a weaker immune system. Over time, you stop understanding yourself and it turns into mental health struggles like anxiety or depression. So, you tell me, suppressing your emotions, being all tough on the surface just so you can look like a normal human being to the society, what good is it doing to you? Life is unpredictable. Think of it as a wild, twisting river. If you try to paddle straight ahead without considering the currents and the water, you might find yourself stuck or even swept away. But when you embrace adaptability, you become like a skilled kayaker who can read the water and the currents and then navigate and adjust your course as needed. Now, flexibility complements adaptability beautifully. Picture a tree in a storm. The ones that sway with the wind are more likely to survive than those that resist. Similarly, flexibility in real life means you can adjust your approach or your expectations when things don't go as planned, whether it's reshuffling your schedule, changing your priorities. The thing is, when you blend adaptability with flexibility, you really start to build resilience. Imagine this. Chaos hits. Maybe it's a sudden shift at work, a personal challenge, or some unexpected news. Now, instead of getting overwhelmed, you find yourself handling it with a sense of calm. Instead of panicking, you are exploring new ideas and solutions and ways to overcome the problems. And the best part is, whenever you face a challenge with that flexible mindset, you pick up valuable lessons that make you even stronger for whatever comes next. And remember, in a world where change is the only constant, being adaptable and flexible isn't about surviving in chaos, it's about thriving in it. You become a navigator of life's uncertainties, turning every setback into a stepping stone. So know that whenever chaos comes knocking, with a little adaptability and a lot of flexibility, you got everything to sail right through it. There is no doubt that when your environment is healthy and positive and nurturing, your productivity will become 10x. So while you have to do the most you can with what you have, take active steps to improve your environment. For example, if you are working a job that you don't like, find ways to how to get out of it and give yourself a deadline. Or if you are living in a city that does not align with your vision, find ways to settle to a place that will help bring out your best version. But keep improving your environment. Keep taking active steps, because getting out of an unhealthy environment is crucial for your emotional, mental, and physical well being. And the first step is recognizing that you are not obligated to stay in a space that drains you or makes you feel small. You have to understand that the negative impact it is having in your life is the necessity for change now. You either stay stuck in that place or you move. Both things are difficult. You choose your difficult. When you have the realization, take steps to distance yourself, whether it's setting boundaries with toxic people, removing yourself from negative or stressful situations, or even changing your surroundings completely. You need to understand that it is very important to prioritize yourself, your peace, and your mental health, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. When you break free from negative situations, from unhealthy patterns, you give yourself the opportunity to rebuild your sense of self worth, to create a life that aligns with your true values, to restore your energy. Because you can't grow, you can't go much forward if you're constantly being held back by negativity. So, know that stepping out isn't about escaping, it's about making room for healing, for growth, and a future that's filled with joy and possibility and passion. So keep going, keep fighting, and keep thriving, even if it's all chaotic around you, because your life is in your hands.